Cool. All right, it's set. So, as I wait for potentially somebody, if nobody, to show up, where I'm going to sing one of my favorite little praise and worship songs, Shine, Jesus, shine. Just have to look up the. Where's Gemini? Do I have Gemini on here? Looking at my tablet. I'm hoping that I have Gemini. If not, I might have to download Gemini quick. So let's go to the Play Store. Let's download Gemini. So Gemini and install. Okay. I'm going to auto open Gemini. While we're waiting for Gemini to download, go ahead and drink some water. Okay. So here's Gemini. Use Gemini. Okay. So rough chord outline of the praise and worship song, Shine, Jesus, Shine.
Shine, Jesus, Shine, written by Graham Kendrick, is a classic worship anthem usually played in the key of A major or G major. Here is a rough chord outline in the standard key of A major. The verse has a steady, building rhythm. A divided by D, divided by A, divided by E, divided by sh. Lord, the light of your love is shining. A divided by D, A divided by E, divided. In the midst of the darkness, shining. D divided E, C sharp.
Okay, I wish there was a button to quickly tell him to stop talking. But it is what it is. So we have the key of A major. Oh, that's loud. That's very loud. Key of E major, which would be. That's not E major. Let's transpose to C major. Lord, the light of your love is shining. Lord, the light of your love is shining, shining. Lord, the love of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness, shining, shining. There we go, that's probably it. Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of your in the midst of the darkness, shining. No. In the midst of the darkness, shining, shining. See, it just doesn't feel right to go down on that. All right, but yeah, it's basically those chords. So, Lord, the light, Lord. Hey, no, don't go to sleep. Bad phone, bad tablet, bad tablet. Stay awake. I don't know. Settings. Settings. Did you stay awake? Come on, stay awake. Grr, this tablet is not great. It's cheapy. Where's my settings? Settings? I know you're here somewhere. Alphabetical. There we go. Settings, display. Display. Here we go. Screen timeout. No, 1 minute. It's not long enough. 10 minutes. There we go. Pin. Really? You're gonna make me do my pin just for a screen timeout? Okay. And then task. There we go. So swipe away settings and back to Gemini. All right. So Lord, Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness shining. Oh, now I see what it's doing. A C over F. That's not, no, that doesn't make sense. What is it trying to tell me? 1, 4, 5. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to drop. So, Lord, Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness shining. Jesus, Jesus, light of the world, shine up, world shine up on us, on us. That's not A minor. On us, set us. Okay, I'm just going a cappella now. I basically have it in my ear. So, Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of your darkness shining. Jesus, light of the world, shine upon us. Set us free by the truth you now bring us. Shine on me. Shine on me. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Oh, river flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of your dark. Sorry. Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness shining. Jesus, light of the world, shine upon us. Set us free by the truth you now bring us. Shine on me. Shine on me. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. Okay. Cool. I like it. So maybe not my best, admittedly. That's fine. I need to drink some water because the old vocal folds here are now a bit raw. It's early morning and I was singing. But the good Lord gave us water, so that's what I'm going to have. Got my bulletin here. So my bulletin here, rough outline of what we're going to cover on this little morning meditation with me, Jackal Bruit, better known to the world, especially here in the local sphere, as Jackson Brumbaugh. So that's what you can find me here on the YouTube. My channel name, Jackson. Kept it very personal. Look for this ugly mug, and you'll find me. So we've done our introductory song to get a few people here in the live stream. I see 3 so far with 1 thumbs up. Appreciate you. Oh, we got some Q&A already. Let's check it out. So my comfort food, oh, easy. Pizza and ice cream. Like, ooh, I've never tried them together, but ¿por qué no los dos? So definitely, yeah, my guilty pleasure when it comes to food would totally be, get me some pizza. I'm even keeping it simple, like some bacon and pineapple, and then a bowl of like vanilla ice cream with some dark chocolate and peanut butter chips, drizzled with caramel and dark chocolate syrup. Yeah, like I can feel my salivatory glands just watering just thinking of that. But no, we got to focus here. So we've done our introductory song as we were gathering some crowd here in the live stream. So we're going to move right along in the bulletin here to some stretching and breathing. So I don't know about y'all, but for me, it is currently 6:10 in the morning. So I still have some sleep grogginess going on. My hair is all kinds of a mess. So let's go ahead and stretch it out a little bit. Shake it out a little bit. Let's reach up to the Lord, roll those hands a little bit, try to feel all the snap, crackle, and pops. Oh, now stretch it down to the roots of the earth. Maybe roll the neck a little bit. Now stretch the arms far as wide as the east. Oh, it's from the west. Roll the arms a little bit. Roll them forward. There you go. Roll them back. Yes, there we go. There we go. Now twist the back to the left, to the right, back again, to the left, to the right. Arm across. Oh, there it is. Now the other arm. And up over your head. And switch. Oh, just enough to feel that stretch. You don't want to hurt yourself. Oh, yeah. Like I said, feel that snap, crackle, and pop. Okay, now roll the neck. Get all that sleep, snapple, crackle, popping out of your system. Now switch directions. There it is. There it is. Okay, chin to the Lord, and chin to the floor, to the side, to the other side, and last up, just shake it out loosey-goosey, shake the sleep grogginess away. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do some deep breathing. So we want to calm ourselves. We've been a little loosey-goosey, and we need to recenter and refocus. So we're going to bring our prayer pose together. I want you to picture a square. We're going to do some square breathing, okay? So on 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to breathe in, and then the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you know what we'll do? Count down 4, 3, or so what would it be? Yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll count it down. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe it out to 4, 3, 2, 1. And ready? So again. One last time. All right. Hopefully that has recentered you, refocused you, and now it has hopefully given you a mindset to be ready to hear and listen and accept the square proverb. So if you go to the Facebook page here, Church of the, 2 E's, the Codex over on Facebook, it is a public group page. You can actually get the square proverb of the day early, or you can just wait for the live stream. I do continue the daily square proverbs even on non-live stream days. But today's square proverb, which keeps the adversary at bay, is coming from the tail end of chapter 9, so chapter 9, verse 18, into chapter 10, verses 1 and 2. But he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol. And we have the heading, The Proverbs of Solomon. The Proverbs of Solomon: a wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. Treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. So that is a reading from the ESV, English Standard Version translation. We have some footnotes there. So where it says about, but he does not know that the dead, the Hebrew is Raphaim. I don't speak Hebrew, so I apologize. And we've got a bunch of cross references. You can see chapter 7, verse 27, chapters 1, verse 1, chapter 29, verse 3, chapter 17 and 20, verse 25, and also chapter 29, verse 15. Then we have a cross reference for chapter 21, verse 6. You can jump to Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 19. And if you want to go to New Testament, you can go with Luke, chapter 12, verse 19 and 20. Or within Proverbs, chapter 11, verses 4 and 6. So that is, like I said, in the Church of the 2E's Codex Facebook page, the Daily Square Proverb. And there's a nice little pretty picture that you can find on the Facebook page, if you so choose to hop over there. So next I'm going to open the floor. If in the comment section you would like to announce any prayer requests, this is a call for needs. Now I understand that we all of us have both needs and wants, but it is more important that our needs are met. Things like clothing and food and shelter and bills. So we first have to focus on addressing needs, and then once the needs are met, then we can consider how we can ask for wants, or how we can attempt to accomplish our wants. But needs first, wants second. So please, if you're hearing this, if you're catching this in the VOD, the video on demand, drop in the comments what needs you have. Just get the need out there. Just feel like if nothing else, it's venting. You're putting it out before the Lord, because sometimes until you ask for it, you can't receive it. But we are promised that in the New Testament that those who ask will, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. But I truly believe that verse has more to do with when it comes to needs, and you have to ask in faith. And so that's a big tall order to ask something in faith in the name of the Lord, especially if you ask something selfishly. I imagine it's difficult to justify a selfish want asked as an actual need. Listen, go ahead if you have a need, maybe something you want to share as a rejoice. You want people to rejoice with you. If you're going through a time of mourning and you want people to mourn with you, and you feel comfortable, please share in the chat. I asked for a bike once, but I know God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness. Well, while there is the concept of definitely the 21st century business has the model of asking forgiveness, not permission. And technically, where Paul writes that although all things are permissible for me, you will be slave to nothing. I imagine if you stole a bike, you do run the risk of becoming slave to the penal system. So there is that to consider. But then also too, if you are jailed in name of the Lord, hopefully someone visits you at least. So a lot of factors to consider there. But thank you for sharing. I'm Astronaut. Please feel free to ask any questions. Moving along here in our bulletin. Kidding, it's an old joke. Oh, I've never heard that joke. Well, thank you for sharing. I love a funny joke. Didn't quite get me to chuckle, but sometimes jokes go. So next is a difficult part of the morning meditation here, especially for a live stream. And I understand if maybe this is going to feel uncomfortable and not everybody wants to participate. But a rather wise young cousin of mine suggested that for something to truly be a meditation, you must be silent. So we're going to attempt, for those of you brave enough to accept the challenge, I understand if you don't want to, a 2 minutes and 43 seconds of silence starting. And I already see that my viewer count has dropped. Now, I didn't say that I would be silent, but I'm asking that you listen to the sound of my voice. Listen to the sound of your surroundings. Consider the once rather famous and controversial piano piece. I don't remember what it's called, but it is, I believe, called 4 minutes and 37 seconds. The entire piece is nothing but rest. There's a concept in music where a rest is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than the active playing. But a lot of people don't want to give rests the time that they need. Even the Lord He gave us the example to rest one day a week. Now, when was the last time you truly rested, let alone rested for an entire day? And yet, that is the example we are given, that 14% of our time is rest. And I don't mean sleep, because I'm sure some of you may understand sleep is not always restful, and restful doesn't always mean sleep. So we're going to keep our silence here, focus on our breathing. Just, we're halfway there. If you made it halfway, what's another half? Let this moment of silence be a time to reflect and listen in. Perhaps put the hurricane away. We're all dealing with a hurricane. I know you are. I know I am. And this little reminder is simply a chance to sit in the eye of the storm and perhaps feel the little nudging from above of what you are to do post moment of silence. Hopefully you stay on the call, on the live stream here with me. We have a lot more to cover. You can be reflecting on our square proverb, chapter 9, verse 18, into chapter 10, verses 1 and 2. That treasures gained from wickedness aren't really worth it. You're almost there. 12, 11 seconds to go. I'm so glad to see that there's still, at least what's showing me, 2 people here in the live stream joining in this moment of silence. 3, 2, 1. So really, was that so hard? And I get that it might have felt uncomfortable at first, might have been strange, but we don't do it enough. We definitely don't meditate and sit in silence with our own thoughts and feelings and emotions like we should. Because just as the Lord gave an example in the time of creation, we too should follow that example and sit in silence with our own thoughts. There was an experiment done, I don't remember when. You can ask Google or ask your favorite chat GP or ask your favorite AI chatbot the psychological experiment of people that would rather shock themselves, which they admitted would be painful, than sit in silence with their own thoughts. Me, I will sit and twiddle my thumbs in my thoughts for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour. Now, admittedly, I have to know what I'm waiting for, and what I'm waiting for must be worth it. I can be a patient man when I want to be. And if I don't want to be, I can be the most impatient pest that you will ever meet. But moving on to our focus passage of the day, our focus verse will be Luke 12, verse 48. So this is what I consider my life verse, my motto verse. So I will be reading from the ESV translation out of my good old thick friend, the Study Bible. I will also then, for comparison, because this is a life verse for me, I will be reading from my baptism Bible, which I was baptized. I made the decision to be baptized the 1st of June back in 2014. So we'll be coming up here on a 12-year anniversary for my baptism. And I'm really excited. A dear friend of mine is going to be celebrating his baptism coming up here this Sunday, actually. So I'm going to call for needs that goes well, and that he gets what he wants out of his baptism. Baptisms are a very personal thing here in the Christian faith. So I just ask that it goes well, and that he can be content, and however it pans out. He's gonna have a lot of visitors, so I can only imagine the hecticness of for anybody who had visitors and had family over for the holiday season, you can imagine what it can be like with when company comes to calling. But getting to our focus verse, Luke 12, chapter 12, verse 48. But the one who did not know and did what deserved a beating will receive a light beating. Everyone to whom much was given, of him much will be required, and from him to whom they entrusted much, they will demand the more. So that's our focus verse. But really, it can be very dangerous to take a snapshot and to take a verse out of context. So let's go ahead and read the paragraph that it's in. So it's under the heading, "You must be ready." So the whole focus passage for this morning of January 20th, 2026, I'm going to be reading from the ESV Study Bible, Luke chapter 12, verse 48, starting in verse 41 down to verse 48, with the focus verse being verse 48. Peter said, "Lord, are you telling this parable for us all, or for us, or for all?" And the Lord said, "Who then is the faithful and wise manager, whom his master will set over his household, to give them their portion of food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant, whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over all his possessions. But if that servant says to him, 'My master is delayed in coming,' and begins to beat the male and female servants, and to eat and drink and get coming, and begins to get drunk, and begins to beat the male and female servants, and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he does not know, and will cut him in pieces, and put him in with the unfaithful. And that servant who knew his master's will, but did not get ready or act according to his will receive a severe beating." And here we have our focus verse for the day, verse 48. "But the one who did not know and did what deserved a beating will receive a light beating. Everyone to whom much was given, of him much will be required. And from him to whom they entrusted much, they will demand the more." So there's a lot to unpack there, definitely a lot. In fact, that entire passage here gets a section all to itself in the footnotes of the study Bible here. So chapter 12, verses 41 through 48, the footnotes. So looking at the part of verses, "Are you telling this parable for us or for all?" Jesus does not actually answer Peter's question, which would seem to indicate that the application is for everyone to whom much has been given. See verse 48. The faithful and wise manager is the person who faithfully and fairly cares for those for whom he is responsible, giving them their fair portion at the proper time. When the master returns, the faithful manager will be rewarded, a metaphorical picture of the rewards that will be given to faithful believers at the return of Christ. The faithful manager is then contrasted with the unfaithful servant who beats the household servants and gets drunk. To the surprise of the unfaithful servant, however, the master will return at an hour he does not know, resulting in swift and harsh judgment. He will cut him in pieces. You can actually cross-reference that with Jeremiah 34:18, and put him with the unfaithful, a metaphorical reference to the punishment that awaits the unbeliever at the return of Christ. The latter description, cross-reference to Luke chapter 13, 27 through 28, and especially the parallel in Matthew 24:51, indicates eternal judgment and separation from God. Cross-reference to Luke 8, verse 13, "Much will be required." People who have been entrusted by God with many abilities and responsibilities will be held to a higher standard on the last day. You can cross-reference notes on Matthew 25:29, Mark 4, verses 24 and 25. So, lots to unpack there. Before I unpack, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and read from the New American Standard Bible. I'm not going to read the whole passage. I'm just going to read the focus verse. Because, like I said, this is my life verse. This is my motto verse. Like, to me, if I had to pick one Bible verse that I could tattoo across my chest or tattoo across my forehead, this is the forehead verse. This is what I want people to think about, to think when they think of me. This is the verse that I want them to think of. So Luke 12:48. "But the one who did not know it and committed deeds worthy of a flogging will receive but few. From everyone who has been given much, much will be required, and to whom they entrusted much, of him they will ask all the more." Now it's interesting here that in the NASB, the New American Standard, it doesn't. I like the word demand, because to me, the word demand really has that connotation, that vividness of of being demanding. That the people around you, whether they be family, whether they be friends, whether they be enemies, are going to demand all the more of you, just because you have, like we were reading in the footnotes, you have abilities and traits and qualities that are admirable, that are desirable. So whether they be enemies that wish to tear you down, they're going to demand that you or maybe even that as your enemies, they want to convert you. As friends and family, they want to take advantage potentially of your skills. But then there's also the fact that you have the good Lord above who wants to use your skills to better the kingdom of God in you. He literally crafted you in your mother's womb specifically for the task at hand, specifically for the time and the world that he placed you in. It was by his design, his choosing, that you specifically, that your soul was planted in your mother's womb at your time of creation so that you could exist in the quantum realm of multiverse that we find ourselves. And the question becomes, are you going to actualize, are you going to live out God's plan for you? Because we read in Jeremiah 29:11, the good Lord knows the plan he has for you, a plan to prosper you, a plan to give you a future. So the Lord knows what he has for you. We don't. But what we can read here is that if we are given much, which me as a U.S. citizen, I'm well aware that I've been given much. I have clothing that is warm. I have a heater that's running in the background. I have many walls that surround me. I have a roof over my head. I have children and I have a wife. I've been given much, and as such, people will demand all the more of me. The Lord expects much from me, and so I'm going to put the ball in your court as well. Demand all the more of me. That is my ask of you, is to ask more of me. Now, admittedly, I'm not going to answer all of your requests. I'm not going to be able to address every last little whim and folly that you have to throw at me. But that is on my job to respond in good faith and to address the needs of those that the good Lord puts on in my path. So just the takeaway there from Luke 12:48 is, demand all the more of me, and I ask that the good Lord give me the prudence, the wisdom, and the judgment, the discernment to accurately assess and weigh the needs from the ones and respond accordingly in line with his good and perfect judgment and will. But that's going to conclude the focus verse and passage. We're moving right along here. We're at about 32 minutes of this live stream. So it is time to move on to our closing song. We're going to be working on a piece from the Worship and Rejoice hymnal by the Hope Publishing Company. It's going to be hymn number 481. So if you have went out and got your own copy here of the Worship and Rejoice hymnal, you can go out or you can crack that bad boy open. And got my note here, or got my little reminder, my little bookmark with the circle of fifths so that I can quickly cross-reference. So 2 sharps is what every time I feel the Spirit, 2 sharps would be the key of D. Oh, lovely, the key of D. I love when happy coincidences like that arise. So my voice fits most comfortably in the key of D, specifically D major. Because you see, I'm a baritone singer, and I can sing right about here very comfortably. So, key of D major. Every time I feel the Spirit. I have never worked on this piece before. I'm going to be singing this raw. I will know as much of it as you do. Actually, you might know it more than I do. Perhaps you have heard this before. Oh, and the next piece is Sanctuary. I might have to. Oh, you might get a bonus song. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for clearly that was not the key of D. Lord, it starts on F. Lord, what? Lord, Lord, prepare me. Lord, prepare me. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. Oh, the key of F sharp. That's what I was like. This doesn't sound like. Lord, prepare me. There it is. There it is. But we're not doing sanctuary. So 2 sharps. So D. Starts up on the D with A. Okay, I'm going to read the lyrics first. So, every time I feel the Spirit moving in 3 and 4 and 1, moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. This is written like I do not like this arrangement at all. Like it looks as if it's like it was intentionally trying to be confusing. Upon the mountain, when my Lord spoke, out of God's mouth came fire and smoke. Looked all around me, it looked so fine, till I asked my Lord if all was mine. Ooh. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Jordan River, chilly and cold, it chills the body, but not the soul. There is but one train upon this track. It runs to heaven and then right back. It's a beautiful piece. I'm just going to do my best to kind of sing through the lyrics now that I have it in my ear, because I do have to wrap up this live stream. We're going about 42 minutes. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Upon the mountain, when my Lord spoke, out of God's mouth came fire and smoke. Looked all around me, it looked so fine, till I asked my Lord if all was mine. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Upon the mountain, when Jordan River, chilly and cold, it chills the body, but not the soul. There is but one train upon this track, it runs to heaven and then right back. I like it. Definitely like it. So, if I find my pen, here's my pen. I'm gonna make a note here that I worked on this piece today, January 20th. That was the song Every Time I Feel the Spirit, number 481, out of the Worship and Rejoice hymnal. Now it's time for some exiting remarks. So the rough live stream schedule here, so if you're finding this as the VOD, make sure to hop onto my YouTube channel around 5:45, 6 in the morning, depends how early I can get up and at them. But I like to do a live stream at least every other Tuesday. Every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the hope and the goal. Potentially some Mondays if I'm feeling up to it. Rising and shining is not always easy. So rise and shine and give God the glory. That's sort of the goal. But my hope is that by doing this morning meditation, we can all rise and shine and give the glory back to Him. So that's the rough schedule. Like I said, every other Tuesday. Typically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on some Mondays if I'm feeling up to it and can get up and at. Mondays are Mondays, and you never know what's going to happen with Murphy's Law Monday. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to happen on a Monday. I want to start offering something new. So as you may have seen, I have my little quick reference bulletin that literally I write up before I go live to kind of plan out what I'm doing. So if you have any interest in this being like a letter and you'd like this sent to you as a little memento of maybe a particularly favorite morning meditation, I would be more than happy to pay for the piece of paper, the ink, the ink that's on there, the envelope, and the stamp. I don't know about international postage. I haven't looked into that, but if somebody outside the U.S. postal system really desperately wants one of my handwritten bulletins, I will find a way, and I will cover the cost for shipping that because it is just a letter, and I think we don't do enough snail mail letters these days. So if you want to, please reach out. because it is your home address or whatever address you want it to be mailed to, like maybe you have like a PO box to be safe. Reach out to me via email. So jackalbrute@gmail.com. That's Jackal, like the animal, Bruit, spelled like fruit with a B, not like a brutish monster. So you can shoot me an email and just say, hey, I really want the hard copy letter from the morning meditation bulletin from January 20th or whatever day it was that you found. Even you can go back. I'll keep these on file that way. So you won't be able to go. So the only ones I'm going to have on file are moving forward from January 19th on. So I'll hold on to those. I will file them away for anybody to ask. Now, of course, that is first come, first serve. I will only make one copy. It is a unique. But before I send it off, I will sign it. Maybe I'll make some notes for you because there's literally like an entire back page that is blank because for my reference here on my keyboard, I only want to look at the front. But it gives you a little bit of insight as to how I plan out and scope these morning meditations. And I'm realizing now that being able to offer something to give back to my community here that I'm trying to build. I know I appreciate when communities I join have little giveaways, give back things, and literally just for the cost of an envelope and a stamp, I can definitely afford that. So that's something I want to start offering. But the closing remarks here, I'm going to leave you with some amazing grace and a reminder that we are to be the salt of the earth and to seek the light. But now it's time to get off that sacred screen and do something amazing already. We are called in Luke 12:48, my life verse, my motto verse, that to first acknowledge that you've been given much, because you have been. If there's breath in your lungs, you've been given more than an infinite amount of souls that are still waiting to be born and to be given life. So if there's breath in your lungs, you've been given much. And as such, because you've been given much, the Lord is going to expect and demand all the more of you. Your enemies are going to demand all the more of you to try to tear you down. Your friends and family are going to demand all the more of you because you have something special to offer this world. You have a skill. You have an ability that no one else has. So find that skill, find that ability, and then find ways to give back to those around you. Find ways to say, demand all the more of me. And I am going to demand of you to demand all the more of me. Make me better. Make me better so that I can be better for you. People helping people. That's the goal here, okay? Altruistic. Just for the sake of getting better. A monotone, always improving. Always be improving. ABI. Always be improving. So that is my prayer, that you will demand more of me, and in turn I can demand all the more of you. So, Luke 12:48. Maybe we're going to, maybe you'll do wrong, maybe you'll misstep, and the good Lord will punish you, but hopefully it will be a light beating, and it'll be your just desserts anyway. But then acknowledge that you've been given much, and that people are going to demand all the more of you. So, with that, peace be with you and your digital kin.